Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another live edition of Bit War Podcast. I am your host, Brett Bates. Joined with me, as always, co-hosts Andrew the Wink Winkleman
Howdy, howdy.
and Zachary Goins.
Just want to be the very best.
Yes, the best that no one ever was. So, that's right. This week we're going to talk about Pokemon Go. We're going to talk about Fallout Shelter coming to PC a little bit. We're going to talk about console refreshes. Are they taking after another piece of hardware? Then we're going to talk a little bit about the Halo 5 HCS Week 6 matchups, and we're going to go over some highlight reels because I think the past 2 weeks, because we were off for 4th of July, but the past 2 weeks showed some really, really high caliber plays, and I want to replay that for you guys. So let's just jump right into this. So for Fallout Shelter, this week they announced that either tomorrow, Wednesday, July 13th, or Thursday the 14th, according to their 1.6 update and PC countdown pictures, it will be released for PC with a new combat system as shown at E3. I'm excited for this because I liked my tablet version, but it just didn't work very well. It was hard to click and tap on things accurately. I do have big fingers, but still, that was the biggest complaint that I heard from people was that trying to manage things on a tablet touch device, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why I'm excited for it to come to PC. If it flops like the touch version, I'll be disappointed. But I think that mouse and keyboard control of Fallout Shelter will be far better than touch. So
Now, I also read that the materials and loot system was pretty difficult, like really difficult after you got in a certain point. Was that adjusted too? So you used to have to send out your guys, you get raiders, and you'd send them out to get materials, right? And then it
Yeah.
felt like the trips were never enough materials to make it worth it. So you like losing guys to dying and stuff like that. Did that get adjusted at all? Do you know?
that I don't know, but you're right. I would send out like 5, 6 people, like as many people as I could spare,
Yeah.
because it took so long to get anything worthwhile. So hopefully they do alter that, but who knows? I sure as heck don't.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought I read that it was like super grindy and it just didn't feel like it was worth the
That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
period of dedication of time and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I thought I read that they might be changing that. I don't know if they
Yeah.
balance it up or anything at all.
The last time I played it on my tablet, I felt like the resources in the vault were really manageable after you got off the ground. The electricity, the food,
Uh,
and the water. I felt like that was all pretty good balance. I could keep up with it, not a problem. Especially once I got on Mr. Handy. That would is it a Mr. Handy? Is that what it's
Uh,
called? The robot, hovering
I
robot.
couldn't tell you. I couldn't
Um,
tell you.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm someone might be laughing at me for getting that reference wrong.
Isn't it Jarvis? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, that's it.
No, in the
Right. I
game,
think it is Mr. Handy.
in the game, I think that's his name. That specific one. But there's
Yeah.
just a generic one that floats around each floor and collects resources.
Gotcha.
So once I got a couple of those that could manage each floor without me having to tap everything all the time, it got real simple. So
That's good.
yeah, so I hope the PC version with the keyboard, I think more accurate clicks, it'll make it a lot nicer. So we'll
Yeah.
see. I plan on getting it. I assume it's free since every other version has been free, but
Yeah, I'd be
that
surprised if I wasn't.
yeah, but I plan on playing that a little bit, maybe even stream it since it'll be on PC. Yeah, so overall, what did you guys think of Fallout Shelter?
I played it for like 2 days, and then I don't know. I just never really got into it, so I couldn't give you an honest opinion on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was. I loved the idea at first. I was pumped, but I mean, I have a hard time sticking with phone or tablet based games as it is. So
Yeah.
I had the same kind of thing. It was fun for like. I think it was fun for me for like the first day because it was like, oh wow, Fallout 4 is coming out soon. This will hold me over till then, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something to fill
Yeah.
the void in my heart.
Well, they had
was-
massive the transactions, in-game transactions, didn't they? From that game, didn't they get
I think so.
crap ton off the bat?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was a brilliant idea, you know,
Mhm.
from them to because I mean they dropped that and Fallout 4 news all in one day, so it
Yeah,
was. I mean that was, and that no one
the
had
hype
any
train.
idea about.
Yeah, the hype train was rolling
Yeah,
hard.
no one had any idea. There's no leaks at all about Fallout Shelter, so
Right.
I mean it
Yep.
was just brilliant marketing from them.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. So I'm excited for it. I'll play it, and we'll update you, kind of as we go. Um,
Now,
yeah.
phone mobile game that we do play. You're supposed to go on to the next topic.
No. I'm not going there yet.
God, what a noob.
You are a noob. Thanks for
Damn,
ruining
Wink, you're
it.
such a noob.
Terrible transition.
um, the next thing we're going to go into, we're saving the best for last, Zach. That's why.
It's not what we wrote down.
So, Zach, since you work at Apple, and Wink, you are, for all intents and purposes, a Mac fan.
That's slappy.
The hardware refresh on those mobile devices, what are they typically?
For
History.
yeah,
His,
major overhauls are 2 years
Okay.
Yeah.
for their iPhones.
I
All
will
right.
Now
agree.
other devices are different timelines. I know MacBooks, like computers, can be longer. I don't know honestly about the other portable devices like iPods and stuff like that. I think those are pretty much phased out. But phones, I know for sure, are every 2 years for major overhauls. They do refresh every year where they upgrade, just some of the internals. They maybe add one more nice perk, but there's really not that much new until every 2 years.
Okay. Um, what about like the Pro books,
MacBook
the
Pros.
MacBook Pros? What are the refresh on that
The
typically?
the last major update
Yeah, I'm trying to think
was
too.
from either 2012 or 2013. They decided to take out the CD-ROM drive and make it thinner, also putting in the Retina display and a faster processor. And they
Okay.
also went to solid state completely.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
my actual current MacBook Pro is a 2013 or 14.
And doesn't
It,
it probably has a CD drive still in it.
no, it doesn't.
It doesn't? Well,
No,
you have an Air.
no, I don't have an Air anymore. I sold that and got a MacBook Pro.
When did you do that?
That's been a
A
while
year
ago,
ago.
I think.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you got an Air. My bad.
no,
Yeah.
no, I got a
So
MacBook Pro.
it must have been 2013 when they took the CD-ROM drives out. Winks or
Yeah.
Brett's gonna look it up anyway for us. But it's been as a complete overhaul. It's been a while. The last major laptop they came out with that was new was the MacBook, and
Yeah,
with that they went
the
really slim and did USB-C only with a
yeah
headphone jack.
that was I was trying to think that was probably the last major overhaul. Because then they just reintroduced the MacBook Pros again.
Yeah. No, they reintroduced the MacBooks. So what the MacBooks got in them recently was the new Skylark processing system
The
and
Intel, yeah.
the Intel, and they also added 8 GB of RAM instead of
Okay.
4 to the Airs. And so the Airs went from, I want to buy one to, okay, I can actually use this as a laptop.
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me. Like people would come into the store, and I would feel bad showing them an Air because I'm like, this isn't gonna be helpful for you. Like, yeah, it's good if you want to type papers, but that's probably it. And so once they introduced the 8 gigs, I was like, oh, this is a lot better computer for the above average consumer.
In 2010, I bought the original complete MacBook Air design. It was extremely expensive at the time, and I got the 4 gigs of RAM instead of the two. I upgraded that, and that thing lasted me a good 6 years, 5 6 years, and it could run pretty much everything I threw at it. Now I couldn't run multiple things like most people could, but I handled my Photoshop just fine. It handled my GIFs just fine. Handled pretty much all my videos fine. I think Netflix I had some issues, but YouTube and stuff like that it handled just fine. And like those I was surprised how well that thing lasted. That looking back on it at the time, I probably should have future-proofed myself a little bit better, but its portability and everything was really nice. But yeah, I was surprised that thing was a trooper for 6 years.
Nice. But so
Hey, Brett,
typically, yeah,
can you possibly? Is there a way to turn all of us up in the Twitch stream?
I
Jake just got on and he said we're a little bit quiet.
yeah, I think I might be able to do that.
All right, Jake, you message me and let me know if it's too loud or if it is just right.
I like his
Yeah.
screen.
You what?
The Noodle. I like that name.
Oh, it's Rex. It's not Jake. Sorry, Rex. Yeah, never mind. Rex the Noodle. I apologize, Rex. I thought it was Jake. Go ahead though, Brett. What were you gonna say?
Well, give me one
So
second to try to-
here I'll bring it around.
Okay.
So for phones, it's about history has shown it's about every 2 years for a new upgrade.
yeah,
You get the 4 and then the 4S, 5, 5S, and then the 5C also came out that year, which was kind of weird. And then
That was
the
like
6.
That was just the cheap.
It was a cheap option. It was an 8 gigabyte cheap option for some other people. And then the 6 came out, which was the newest remodel, and then the 6S came out where they made it stronger because certain people were bending phones for some reason. And then they put in the 3D Touch, which added an extra layer to the screen, and also
The quick
4K
look.
and the quick look and the 4K camera.
yeah. Suffice it to say that Apple users are used to getting brand new hardware regularly.
Yeah.
And then all of the apps, once you upgrade that hardware, all of the apps in the OS, it works, correct?
Yep.
It just does. Well, Microsoft is finally taking a page out of that playbook because they said with the Project Scorpio, their complete intent is to start refreshes every couple of years hardware and make it so when you go to the next system, when you upgrade your console, games just work. So game manufacturers they can add in automatic scaling with the hardware. So if it detects that you're on the Xbox One original, the Xbox One S, or the Project Scorpio, it'll be able to scale appropriately and display at 60 frames per second, smooth resolution. Just everything scales correctly to make it look.
So is this a
good.
complete console refresh every 2 years? So you have to buy a whole new console?
Well, it's a thing you don't have to buy a new console because of all this upscaling and downscaling. It just is they're going to give you the option to have a hardware upgrade every couple of years. They didn't specify every 2 years, but they said every couple of years. But all the games are going to work because the OS and the software is going to be compatible. It just scales it depending on what hardware it detects.
All right.
See, it's cool. Okay, this is my thought process. I don't know if it's that good of an idea. Like, I understand the draw to it where all that happens, but at the store I see people come in all the times with outdated now by 2 years
Yeah.
or 3 years outdated software, and they're like, I can't run this app anymore, I can't do this anymore, and it's like technology is just too fast, so
Yeah.
I see the positive to it. I see where Microsoft is going, but I think I want them to, and it's same with Samsung and Android. I mean, it's
Sure.
not just it's not just Apple, and I don't want to speak too much into the Apple side of it because I don't know how much I can speak into it. But with other companies, it's the same thing. Whereas Android is up to Nougat, which is the stupidest name for an operating system ever, but they're up to Nougat now, and if you're running, Facebook on that, you're not going to be able to run it on an older operating system, and that's the struggle.
Yeah.
I think as much as we love our technology and as much as we love the new stuff, it's almost going too fast because everybody's like, "Oh, new, it's faster. Let's get to the next one." And then Facebook and Twitter and Skype and everybody's like, "Oh, we got to catch up." So they catch up really quick. But everything else is the people who are left behind are like, well, I have to buy it now. And I just don't want Microsoft to do that to us because I'm happy with my Xbox One. I think it would be a great idea if the Scorpio was like, hey, we will let you buy hardware like a PC. We'll leave the core parts in it, but you can buy. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast where you could buy a better graphics card, or you could buy. I think that's a better route to go. But I also know at that point it's like, why not build a PC?
Yeah, and the thing is, from Microsoft's point of view, they cannot guarantee any type of warranty if they're allowing people to pop open the consoles.
And that was it. Yep, because that's the same thing. Like Apple can say, like if you go to Genius Phone Repair and repair your phone, like I don't like we're not technically liable for that because you took it into your hands to
Mhm.
open it up, and that's with anything. Like that's with if I took apart these headphones, like I would send them to Steel Series. They would be like, you know what, you took them apart, try and fix them yourself. We don't know what you did. We're not liable.
Yeah.
And that is the main part. You're completely right.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a man. That's a slippery road to go down because for my iPhone lifetime, which I've had 3 or 4 different iPhones now with
I've
refresh.
had mine since the 4.
Yeah, I think the 4 was my first iPhone with a refresh every 2 years. The only reason I got a phone every 2 years, a new one, is because of subsidized phone costs.
Yeah.
And 2-year plans.
That's true.
There's nothing like that for consoles. There's no contracts or anything like that. Because for basically every 2 years, I could get a new phone for free or close to it, just because of signing a new contract and stuff. Is staying with a carrier.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do that with.
Well, here's the thing that Microsoft said. Phil Spencer verified it. One of the I don't remember what his name is for Xbox, but he plays a lot of Destiny on Twitter, anyways. Ybarra was his first name, I think. But he said, and then Phil Spencer verified it, that for every hardware release, they want to work with GameStop to do some sort of trade-in that makes the upgrade not as expensive.
See, but that's just like feeding into the bad guy GameStop montage, Like, I hate going to GameStop because it's like I can buy Call of Duty today, and tomorrow I'll take it back and they'll give me $35 for it.
Okay,
I bought a $60. I mean,
let's say this though. Let's say Microsoft can control part of that, and they say, look, GameStop, if you give people $100, $125 for their old system, and this new one is $400, and then they have some say over that, not the GameStop. Well, it's been 5 years, so we're only going to give you $25 for this system. If Microsoft can control part of that, I think it's a legitimate way to help people upgrade and stay current.
That helps, but it just feels so wasteful when it comes to hardware and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll dump a console after a couple years.
But here's a good thing too with conservation is that all the silicon Microsoft would get back from those consoles, all the plastic circuit boards, they could melt that down and recast them into brand new things.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, to me it sounds like almost like a win-win-win.
But that's a
yeah.
big financial investment every couple of years, 3 years.
It does.
And I feel like that's starting to cater towards the elite of the gamers. The 1% of, because
1%ers.
The Bretts.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
Xbox fans are mostly our age. Because we grew up, and that was our first major console. Because we were 10, 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And now we're, middle-aged, late 20s, 30s, stuff like that, with more disposable income than we, before.
Yeah.
But still, I can't think of many people I know personally that, other than phones, that refresh their devices at that quickly. That's a very upper tier thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you think about it, that's like, if the next one comes out and it's $400, I don't have a car payment, but that would be like, that's like a car payment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not every month though.
I mean, no, but for some people, like,
sure. I mean, it's expensive, but so was the one when it first came out.
Then you consider.
But see but look what happened at the one. Wink always says it, like, if it's above $500, it's not going to sell. Like, people will not buy it.
At $500, it's not going to sell.
Yeah, people won't buy it. Like, if Microsoft came out and put it at like $350.
Yeah, and I think $400 for brand new hardware, top of the line console hardware, is fair. I wouldn't be too upset if it was $400. And Rex in chat brings up a big thing, is that recycling PCB and plastic is expensive.
But PCB?
PCB.
Oh, I thought you meant PCP. My bad.
The thing is, though, is it's not done in bulk because not a lot of people recycle at this point. There's been a big push for it in years past, but there isn't a bulk amount of it. And I think if you get millions of people to trade in their Xboxes every 3-4 years, you can do that in mass. I think it would become a lot cheaper. Or if
Okay,
you had
so
a better processes to do it.
if their plan is to refresh every 2-3 years, but keep software and video games running smoothly across both of them, what incentive is there to upgrade then?
Trade
What
in your old, get 50% off the new.
even then, like what would be
Yeah.
like between what the Xbox One is now and what the Scorpio is rumored to be is a major overhaul. It sounds like it's a
Yep.
monster.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean, they're not going to be able to just do something like that every 3 years.
the thing is dynamic scaling. So what happens if a game is designed for the Project Scorpio and then someone plugs it into an Xbox One, it's going to see the massive hardware difference, less hardware. It's going to drop the resolution and the image fidelity, the image quality, to make it run smooth. So your incentive, if you want 4K gaming or 8K gaming in the future with the new hardware, you're going to get that so you can get that image fidelity at that smooth frame
and then
rate.
you're fracturing your fan base and splitting it down the middle. Not even
But
down the middle.
but if your Xbox One, if someone is fine with 1080p gaming and an Xbox One can run the game at 1080p 60 frames per second, that's fine. They can stick with an Xbox One and play this game. But if they want to play it at 8K, it really is a way to cater to the 1% and the 99% as well, because you're allowing the people who want to buy antiquated hardware, Xbox One, to play it. So what if it's 1080p 60 frames a second? It's still a good looking image, and then people want to drop major bucks for 8K 60 frames or 120 frames per second. That's what the Quake Champion game is going to be run at. I mean, they can drop that money.
So what about developers then? How do they handle? Are they gonna not release a Skyrim type game with maxed out memory and all? Just a massive open world game because the lowest of the current gen consoles can't handle it.
From my understanding, all they have to do is apply this dynamic scaling in the API for the Xbox One or for the Xbox platform, and it'll give the recommended settings for each hardware configuration.
Okay.
So,
See, I don't know. That it sounds like it's too good to be true kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just don't see how it's technologically possible to just downscale a massive game and make it look worth buying, or make it at least decent looking to people where they would want to buy it, even if it is a last gen, technically.
Yeah. Well, and the biggest drain on graphics hardware is the resolution. So if you the graphics requirements for jumping from 1080p to 4K is a lot. 1080p to 8K is probably 4 times that. Yeah. So it really is a resolution that drains graphics resources, and it's not necessarily the quality. So if you drop the resolution, it's gonna look a little more pixelated because of resolution. There's less dots per inch. It's just a smaller resolution. So, but in your comment to technologically possible, who thought HoloLens was possible? Augmented reality.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Barriers are broken every day. New technology, new hardware, and stuff like that. It just would be it's never happened with consoles because it's a massive market, but it's completely different from other massive markets.
Yeah. Well, and here's why I think it is possible and why it will maybe not work in its infancy form right now, but because Microsoft has spent years, their entire reputation is on software, operating systems. And then in 2001, they got into hardware with the Xbox, the original Xbox, at hardware and a console level. So they have the resources to create software and developer APIs to make this happen pretty automatic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt their resources and their people that know how to do this stuff. It's one of the things I want to see to believe.
Sure.
And because my plan is not to buy the Xbox One S, no matter how nice I think it looks and everything. I'll put money aside for the Scorpio, and then I just don't see myself buying another console that fast again because
Yeah, that's where I'm
it's
at too.
financial investment. Because I assume when the Scorpio comes out, I could get 100, $150 for my current Xbox One,
Yeah.
and then it's just mostly because it's such a huge upgrade that I'm willing to bite the bullet this time.
Yeah.
Whether I'm willing to do that the next time, I'm
Yeah. Well,
as
that's
of
where.
today,
What year did the Xbox
Yeah.
One come out? Was it
2012, I believe.
12?
13,
Okay.
13.
13? Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Because we bought our
November
house in.
2013, I believe.
Yeah, we were in our house in Michigan, and we bought it in 2012 or 2013. So that yeah,
Brett's
that's right.
like, I had to choose between a house or an Xbox One. and
I got
just-
both. I got both. So, yeah, so what we're at the 3-year mark right now, and by the time it comes out, we'll be at the 4-year mark.
Probably later than that, because I mean they haven't even shown it.
Well,
It won't be next year, will it?
they said holiday 2017 was
They
the
said next
going to
year.
release. So
Oh,
we'll be at the 4-year mark at that point. So if they make that the precedent at 4 years, I mean, can people save
November
$100
22nd.
every year for 4 years and then buy the new one? If they keep it at that price range.
I mean
That's not a terrible. amount
yeah,
of
but
money.
it's something that people don't start saving until close to it starts coming out.
Yeah,
That's
and
not something they, oh, I got my Xbox jar right here. I'm gonna
most
throw.
people are bad at saving money in general, anyways. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't have a jar where I put 75 cents in every chance I get for an Xbox.
Yeah,
I have a
I hear
Vegas
that.
jar, but I don't have an Xbox jar.
Here's something I didn't think of. Rex in chat again said his dad and him owns a used video game store, and it would give them better flow for consoles and money if they did the trade-in system. If they partnered with a bunch of the smaller independent shops, or if it's just a Microsoft program and shops can sign up for it, to get reimbursement for those console trade-ins. I could see it definitely helping the used game market.
well, I think you see Microsoft doing something different when they said with the Xbox One, like they were like, we're not going to be doing like a ton of like, if you own the game, you can only play it on yours kind of a thing. When they introduced that the first time, everybody was up in arms about it, but that led me to think like, well, they're also going like hardcore digital. Like digital is huge right now. So, I don't think they're trying to rely on GameStop as much as they are anymore, because I think they are seeing GameStop is like this huge monopoly that is just ruining like gamers. Like if I go into games, like it's just everybody knows it, but like I'm not going to go on it, but GameStop it's really hard. And so if I go to the mom and pop shop, the Play and Trade, even that's not a huge name, but they have some places, or even like Rex's place. Like if I went to Rex's place, like I would be 10 times more likely to buy a used game there than I would at GameStop, just because I understand it's a mom and pop small business, and I appreciate that more than the huge monopoly,
Well, sure.
So I think I could see that. I think I could definitely see Microsoft doing that. That'd be a really good move by them.
Well, being in the IT field, I know that Microsoft caters to all sorts, shapes and sizes of IT companies in their programs, for reimbursements, for sales, kickbacks, all that stuff. So I could see this just becoming another one of their their projects that people sign up for. Their little system that you sign up for a vendor account or whatever, and I could see that definitely helping the used game market, especially for independent shops. Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. I like the idea. There are some drawbacks, like we've said, but I think overall, I think it's a pretty interesting direction to take, and I'm kind of glad that they're taking that. Again, with Phil Spencer at the helm, it seems like nothing he does goes wrong.
I love him being in charge right now.
I don't want to say that he is flawless, but he has made every right step that I've seen so far.
Yeah, he's saved Xbox, that's for sure.
Absolutely, hands down, single-handedly.
They were going to be in second place for it, in an unrecoverable position for a while.
Yeah,
and he at least stopped the bleeding.
I think, and Wink brought this up before, but like, just hinting at the Scorpio made Sony just peel back everything they had.
Yep.
Like that's huge. Like that's a game changer right there. So he's gonna do great things, and Microsoft's on a great track right now.
Yep. So we will definitely, as we learn more information on that, we'll definitely keep you updated. So now, getting into what Zach alluded to earlier, there is this mobile game that came out.
You might have heard of it.
You might have heard of it. Licensed by a company called Nintendo. Maybe you've heard of that as well. Game called Pokemon Go. It's, augmented reality Pokemon game where, Zach, why don't you give us a rundown on what this game is?
God. Well, I'm playing it right now, so that's awkward. So what Pokemon Go is, if you ever, man, it's kind of hard to explain. Not really. So, it came out like last week, and what Pokemon Go is, it's a virtual reality / augmented reality.
It's all augmented reality.
Well, it's all augmented reality, yeah. But I mean, like some of you can change the AR off. You can turn that off. Where Pokemon are around you, like in the world, and your job is to find them and catch them and raise them up. And so, all around the world, I guess, right now, there are these places called Pokestops. And what you do is if you go to the Pokestop, you get, Pokeballs, potions, lures, antidotes, rare candy, all of this random stuff. Anything that's in the game. Like if you were a child in the 2000s or 1990s and played Pokemon, it is literally the exact same. It is so awesome. I think it's overhyped. I don't know why. I think it's cool, but I also think it's overhyped. I think it's a little bit too much, but
Wink's not impressed with that statement. He doesn't think it's overhyped.
No, I know, and I'm not even impressed with it. But I think with the fact that, people are going for walks to catch Pokemon and to make eggs hatch, I feel like that is it's really odd. Because it went from, no joke, I mean, this was literally the two narratives of the past week. Everything in the social public sector of race, religion, shootings, gun stuff, to literally Pokemon. Like it was either one end or the other, and the other end is like the main thing right now is Pokemon. Like I feel like every conversation about everything else in the world is gone, and everybody's just freaking out about this game, and it blows my mind. Like I just can't comprehend it. So back to the thing, there are gyms around. You can go to the gyms and take it over. You can, raise your Pokemon to these ridiculously high levels that I don't know how people have done it already. But it's, from a social setting, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I went for a walk last night. We were supposed to do the podcast last night, and we just
Zach went for a poke date.
I went for a Pokemon walk. I hadn't seen a friend in a while, and he said, "Hey, let's go for a walk and catch Pokemon." And I'm like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever done, but let's do it. Why not?" And so we went out for the walk, and we walked around his neighborhood for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is okay. Like, funny. Like you've been to that spot already. Let's go over there and get the Pokestop. Let's go get Pokeballs, whatever." And then, so I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grand Rapids has not a huge downtown, but it's clean. It's very nice. There are usually a lot of people down there. We went downtown last night, and there were probably about 200 middle-aged adults. I use adults very loosely, playing this game, playing Pokemon together. And I guess the weird part for me is to see that if this is a real thing. It's not like, it's not like Overwatch came out and we're all sitting at home playing it, and I'm like, oh, I wonder how many other people in the world are playing this game. Oh, I just, played 10 different people. No, like there are physical people out playing Pokemon. And it's just, there are so lures attract more Pokemon, and there was a Pokestop like in this one area. There was 4 Pokestops in one area, and people attached lures to it, and there were at least 60 to 70 people sitting down, walking around, and finding things, and just being together. Like it was really cool. There was no like nobody being mean, nobody being rude, nobody being like a anything. And the funniest part of the entire night was I felt my phone buzz, and I looked down, and I thought, oh, cool, a Squirtle. And literally 2 seconds later, everybody was like, Squirtle! Oh my God, there's a Squirtle! And people just lost it, completely lost it. And they caught Squirtle, and everybody was like, I caught Squirtle! Oh my gosh, this is so awesome! And it's weird.
It's a weird phenomenon.
It is. I don't know how to explain it. Like I want to say I'm surprised that it took off this much, but I'm not. Like I'm not surprised at all. I'm surprised that like this is all you see
Yeah.
and you just walk around and catch Pokemon. You know, like I don't really know how to feel. Like I don't necessarily I don't think it's that cool, but I see the draw.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, like that. I think that's my final stance is like
Yeah.
I don't understand, but I understand.
Yeah. Well, and someone in chat said that the nostalgia of the game was a huge selling point.
That is very
not
true.
necessarily a selling point because the game's free,
But
why everyone plays it is because the huge nostalgia. Like you said, if you grew up in the '90s, mid late '90s and 2000s when the game came out and the cartoon came out, you love Pokemon.
exactly.
And then it said he also said in chat that it gave businesses a chance to boom business and use the Pokestop status to sell more stuff. You know, it helped the economy. It got people out walking, face to face interaction. You know,
well,
and what's funny is that here in East Louisville, we'll call it, the Social Security office is a Pokestop, which I found kind of funny.
I thought that I thought they were going to do that sooner or later, but it's the funniest comment I saw, which it's true, about Michelle Obama like doing the let's play whatever, walk whatever. Like she was trying to get like people to exercise more.
Yeah.
They were like, Michelle Obama tried for 8 years to do this. Pokemon Go did it in 24 hours. And it's really true. Like if you think about it, the health benefits for this game are pretty large. Like if you're telling me I have to go walk and I catch cool Pokemon, like you just talk to a bunch of like different type of nerd culture to do something that they normally wouldn't do. And I'm not saying that's bad on nerd culture, but it's true. Like I play video games. I sit on my butt and play video games. Thankfully, I have a job that I have to walk around and get some exercise in. But like, that's just nerd culture. Like, you know, I'm not trying to be like downplaying it or being mean to anybody, but a lot of nerd culture does involve sitting down, like playing board games, you know, playing video games, reading, that kind of thing. And to see this, like to see people out last night, like I made the joke, and it's not a good joke, but it's true. Like there are people like us who have social lives and who are very sociable and who have friends and who do a lot of things. Like we have Bitwar Gaming and Bitwar Esports. Like we have a huge group of people that we talk to, and that, you know, I can go out and randomly just invite people to do it. But then you have a totally different culture and people that don't get out, don't do a lot of stuff like we do, and they're out there. And that was really cool to see, like the people who don't have much of a social life or like that much communication with the world to be out playing with people. And then I was like, it was really cool to see everybody bond together, because I was like, I'm not going to judge you, like I'm doing this too, you know, like it's really cool. It's nice to see us all getting along and doing this. And so
you lame Pokemon fans, get out of my way while I catch this Squirtle.
But I think, you know, as much as I make fun of it, it is really something cool, and it is really something good. And I don't think we've said that in a while about like a video game.
Yeah.
You know, it's something different. And I know I'm ranting and talking a lot, but it's gotten me thinking a lot more about, because my college degree was based on like communication and community, and to see this kind of like beat the norm is really odd. Like it's really bewildering to me.
Well, let's think about it. When Nintendo released the Wii and the Wii U, Wii Fit and Wii Sports were a huge part of that.
Yeah,
and
they were.
Kind of their mantra was to get gamers active. And I really see this as a continuation of that, because people are walking miles and miles just to catch different Pokemon.
And to hatch the eggs.
Hatch
That's
the
the
eggs.
biggest thing is
Yeah.
hatching eggs. You have to actually physically walk distances.
Yeah, and
in order
so
to hatch eggs.
And it won't
Eggs
let
are
you
important.
drive. It
Right.
won't let you, like you can't do it in the car. Like
it
has a
detects the
certain,
speed, and then if
which
you
is
see a certain
incredible.
speed, yeah. I wonder if you could get on a bike and maybe
I'm sure
trick
you
it.
could. Like I've had
But
one egg
even
track
biking.
my distance.
Yeah, even
And
like it's just
I've-
exercise.
I've gone like a kilometer throughout, you know, without actually walking it. I don't know what I was doing at the time, but it tracked me, you know, through the app. I somehow went from 0 to a 1 kilometer, you know, without actually physically walking. So I'm not sure exactly if it if it tracks slow movement too, if it bikes, I'm sure would work. Bikes, skateboards, rollerblades, stuff like that. I'm almost certain it would work.
Yeah, that would be cool because I mean you can bike in the game, so like in the original Game Boy game, you get that bike, it was money
Dude,
because
you got that bike.
you walked so
Bike
slow everywhere, and so
and,
you got that bike.
and then rollerblades later in later generations where
Yeah.
you got those early. They realized that the gameplay was too slow,
Mm-hmm.
walking like that is.
Yeah.
For me, you guys already pretty much said what I was gonna say, that it is the definition of a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so if you look back the last 10 years, the last two gaming related phenomenons are both by Nintendo, with the original Wii, because that got my parents to play video games because the Wii was so unique and so attractive, And then with this, since it's a free to play app, where you would say at least 75% of the population has some form of a smartphone.
Yeah.
If they have a cell phone, that this is just, it's taken everything over, media, everything. It's so brilliantly designed to the point where you wonder, I don't know if it's Nintendo's pride when it comes to hardware and stuff like that, but makes you wonder why it took them so long to go into the mobile market with their their major titles, with Zelda related, Pokemon, Smash, stuff like that. I mean, it's just, there's so many Nintendo people out there that it's hard to come across someone that doesn't like a Nintendo product at one point in their life, whether it's Pokemon, Zelda, Metroid Prime, all those. It's hard to find anyone that doesn't like and grew up on that stuff. So, I mean, I think they said it grossed some $7 billion already, and it hasn't.
Well, we're gonna touch on that because it's more than that.
They haven't even released it in some countries yet. I mean, this is just mainly China, Japan, and U.S. So this is Europe, and none of that stuff has touched it yet. I mean, it has some issues. Server crashes, but it's so big. It's ran pretty smooth considering all the factors.
Yeah.
I think it's lived up to the hype. Like, watching the promo details and the trailers and stuff, I was like, there's no way it ends up being anything like what it's shown. It's 99% of the time something like that is going to happen. It ends up being a huge letdown, which I'm still calling my shot that No Man's Sky, or what No Man's Sky is going to be is not going to live up to that hype. So far, I mean, it is a lot of fun. I can't help but wonder why Nintendo waited so long to do something like this.
Yeah. I almost feel like they were backed into a corner though with the underwhelming sales numbers of Wii and Wii U's, that they had to do something to get a product out there outside of that hardware.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why I've been saying patience is needed with Nintendo, because they haven't announced anything with their new console and stuff like that.
Right.
And then they finally showed some gameplay footage of Zelda, and everyone is, it looks unbelievable. So, I mean, people saying that Nintendo's done and stuff like that, and they won't be able to catch up, has been extremely premature.
Yeah,
because they still have the IPs to sell,
exactly.
not only sell consoles, but sell or just keep the gaming world interested. So, I mean, they just got too big of a loyal fan base to just die. It's going to take another decade or more of below average or just terrible consoles and terrible decisions before Nintendo's in trouble.
Yeah.
The craziest thing about Nintendo is they have like sleeper cell agents all around the freaking United States, dude. Like, nobody cared about Pokemon, and then all of a sudden drops, and everybody's like, we gotta play Pokemon again. It wasn't even like Nintendo wasn't on my mind until I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, I actually do like Pokemon. Oh yeah, Nintendo did Pokemon. Oh, let's try this out. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, no joke. So I'm going to hit some statistics here just to give people a perception about...
Hold on a second. My mom just texted me, be careful catching Pokemon.
Well, I thought people have been robbed and killed.
Dude,
so,
yeah.
Well, it says the main load-up screen is be careful of your surroundings. So, I mean, you do have to watch what you're doing.
So, as of yesterday, Pokemon Go had only been released in the U.S., Australia, and New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it has surpassed the daily active users of Twitter. And that's just on Android devices that were tracked. So every device that has Pokemon Go and Twitter on it, or every device that has Pokemon or Twitter on it, Pokemon Go has surpassed the daily active users of Twitter. And it says it's about 5% of all U.S. phones, not just smartphones, but phones total, have active daily usage for Pokemon Go.
Yep. And it's because it's free to play.
Yes.
And it makes it all the world's difference.
And so here's the thing. As of today, as of yesterday as well, Pokemon Go has generated $14.04 million in 4 days. And Pokemon Shuffle, the mobile game Pokemon Shuffle, made $4.03 million its entire lifespan.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
they were making 3.5 a day.
Its balance is really well done. That's what makes it so appealing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is because there is microtransactions, which, I hate to the death of me, but it's not to the point where it's play to win, and it's not, people can buy Pokeballs and lures and stuff like that with real money, and incubators and stuff like that, but it's not instant upgrades and stuff like that to the point where it breaks it, and it's really well done and really well balanced when you consider this is Nintendo's first game like this, an RPG style game on a phone, where money is a lot easier to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Real stuff to help you win in phone games than it is anywhere else.
Especially with the Apple Wallet, is that what they call it, or the Google Apple Pay and the Google Wallet. And I don't have an iPhone, so do you log in with your Apple account to Pokemon Go?
No, but I'm sure if I haven't got to the point where I wanted to buy gold, they're gold coins. That's what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming though that if you want to, that you can just, because mine's fingerprint activated, so all you have to do is a couple steps and then pay, and then it would pay through your credit card.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know with my Google account, if I so choose, I can add a debit card, credit card, PayPal account to my Google Wallet, and I sign in to Pokemon Go with my Google account.
My Touch ID.
And so all you have to do is say, pay with my card on file or with my source on file, and it's instant. It'll purchase it right then and there.
Yeah.
I can see how the microtransactions would boom very quickly, and with how many people playing this, it just makes sense.
Like it's better than with Clash of Clans. One of the biggest issues with microtransactions is that you could buy gems, upgrade, and
level up really quick.
Your battle, all your armor, or your clan, all your troops, your walls, all this. So you can do that instantly.
That's why I quit playing that.
Yeah, with this stuff, it's you can't. I mean, I know you can buy. It still leaves chance, because if you buy lures and stuff like that, and cents to draw Pokemon to you, it's random chance of who you're gonna get to come see you.
Right.
So it doesn't break that balance as of now.
Yeah. They're not saying that spend this much money on gold coins and we'll give you a Mewtwo or whatever, like a super rare legendary Pokemon or anything like that. So I agree that it has pretty good balance.
Yeah, it's enough to make you want to buy stuff just to keep your activity going. It's something you don't need to, because you can always go to Pokestops to buy more, try to get more balls or more incubators and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you multiple options without feeling so grindy and without taking forever for stuff to happen, and stuff to upgrade.
Yeah.
As of now, I mean, maybe after once I hit rank 15 or 20, maybe it starts feeling like a chore, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I've heard people are already up to level 35, 40.
Oh yeah, people are nuts over this.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a level cap, but I know people are getting up there.
I don't know.
But anyways, so I think that Pokemon Go so far has raving reviews from us three. I think we all would recommend it. If you are at all a fan of Pokemon, even in the least, this is worth downloading. Playing.
If you didn't, there's really no excuse not to have it on your phone.
Yeah, quite literally.
If you played Pokemon or watched it as a kid, if you don't have it already, I'd be shocked, because it's unavoidable, because it's everywhere. It's a definition of a video game phenomenon.
Yeah, absolutely. So, So this time, why don't you remind us what the Wink's trivia question is? Because I have not seen any Twitter responses for attempts for answers.
Okay.
And then remind us again what the prize is for guessing it correctly.
Okay. The prize is a $10 card to your choice of platform, whether it's PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Steam, or whatever. And the question is, what character model is based off of, or what prominent character model is based off a TV star for PlayStation? And I'll narrow it down to PlayStation 3.
Okay.
Just to help people a little bit. I don't think that'll give it away too much, but see. But yeah, what prominent PlayStation character model is based off a TV star?
We
All right.
do have. I'll say this as an Ask BWG. The first.
First
It wasn't-
official.
It wasn't hashtagged, but somebody brought it up, and so I think we should mention it really quick. Wink, this
Okay.
might not contain you just because you haven't played the game yet, but you can also answer it. Overwatch, yeah. So Jake Yak, one of the newest guys that has been joining us to play Overwatch recently, great guy. He's a Michigander. He tweeted us and said, "You guys should talk about the new Overwatch hero that just got announced."
Anna?
Yep.
Anna, yeah.
I saw pictures of it.
Jake, Anna looks pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Is she just another sniper?
She's a sniper healer.
Not just another sniper.
Not just another. Come on, Wink.
Yeah, so her sniper does damage, but it doesn't do as much as
Like
Widowmaker's sniper rifle does, because there's already Widowmaker is already sniper. Hers does less damage, but if she hits a teammate, snipes a teammate, it heals them. It shoots off like a like a stim pack or something.
It's like a stim pack or something like that.
That heals them, and it's a decent amount of health. It's not a crazy amount, but it's decent. One of her alternate fires is a bio grenade that disables all healing to that character that's affected by it. I don't know yet if it's an AoE or a single target effect. So I don't know if you have like 4 people in an area and you drop that, if it'll affect all 4 of them. That might be OP to stop 4 people's healing ability, but we'll see. We'll test it out. I'm sure Blizzard, being the company that they are, I'm sure they have tried to balance it as well as possible, and I imagine that would come from their play tests pretty frequently, and someone would have thought to try that. If not, you need to hire me as a play tester, because I thought of it just off the top of my head.
Or Wink. Wink deserves it.
Yeah, he finds if there's a bug to be found in a game, Wink will find it.
Exactly.
So the other one is a sleeping dart. So she can fire this dart and it will knock them out for who knows how long. But we do know that it interrupts ultimate attacks. So Bastion counter with Bastion.
Sounds exactly like Destiny. Where one of the supers can knock out, it can stop another super.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
But yeah, so if anyone knows Bastion ults, put him to sleep. It'll be the best. Or even
or just kick him out of the game.
Reaper's ult, if you could stop that before it happens. It's an excellent move. And then her ultimate is I don't know what they called it, but
I have it right in front of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
This is from Kotaku.com. Then there's Anna's ult, which turbocharges an ally of your choice. Nano Boost makes them move faster, deal significantly more damage, about 50%, and take less damage. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a tank character or a high damage character, because they're going to be taking less damage, let's say you hit that on a Reaper, and he does his Death Blossom, the AoE, high damage already as it is, ult. I can see that clearing out a team.
Kill people in their spawns.
Just drop all 6 teammates. So
Dear Lord.
Yeah,
she's a support sniper, is what technically it is.
And I imagine, I would hope that they make her as squishy as what Mercy is. Not be able to take a lot of damage, because it's a support character. It would make sense to make her very, very easy to take down, especially if her abilities are so lethal as they are described.
Yeah.
So
she's actually like. Whereas Widowmaker is kind of a little bit strong and her health is a little high. I feel like this is truly going to be like a sniper where she sits back and really supports the team. Mm-hmm. Whereas, I think they're just doing a really good job of sending in, like they have Lucio and Mercy and as like support heel for the team, whereas Zenyatta and the monkey dude,
The monkey.
the robot,
Monkey with glasses. I know who he is talking
No,
about.
not Winston.
Zenyatta. is
Zenyatta and who's Symmetra.
the- oh, yes.
Whereas they're like kind of stay behind support a little bit more. I think it's cool that they put a sniper / support
Yeah.
in there too to fill the void a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. So, back on Wings Trivia. Tell them how to submit their guess.
Oh, I apologize. You can
Yeah, my bad.
you
No,
can
you're
tweet
fine.
at any of us at our Twitter accounts or the Bitwar Gaming Twitter account.
Yep, that's at
and
Bitwar Gaming.
hashtag Winks Trivia. Yeah,
Yep.
it's at Bitwar Gaming. You can email us, and I don't remember the email, of course. You guys gonna have to tell us the email
Bitwargaming at Outlook.com.
at Outlook.com. You can submit at any one of those,
Yep.
and to $10 gift cards to the platform of their choice.
Yep. So guess that, and you're not limited to one guess, so you can guess as many times as you like, as you think you need. So
You can spam all the Pokemon names you want.
Yeah. Heck.
You'll be wrong, but you can.
Yeah. Just because we would enjoy that, we would like every tweet. So, so thank you for that, and then the Ask BWG, we just kind of talked about that. So moving on to our esports section. What we're going to do is I'm just going to read. I didn't follow any of the E-League, the CSGO stuff. Zach, you said you did a little.
I watched a ton
You
on
watched a ton of
Saturday.
it. Okay. So
It was
why
good.
don't you kind of give us a cliff notes on what happened this week on E-League Counter-Strike Go without blowing into your microphone?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So this weekend they had I watched the final four of the North American tournament. I think it wasn't in Columbus. They said it was, but it was somewhere else. And one of the two teams that made it to the final was Team Liquid, and Team Liquid is primarily, actually, it was the first North American-based CS:GO team to ever make it to the finals. Granted, they got smashed in the finals.
Wasn't
but...
it in Cologne, Germany? Isn't that where it was at?
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
in Cologne. Yeah, so it was the World Championships, and so it was really cool. That's the first time I've actually sat down and kept up with and enjoyed an esport, which was really interesting. I mean, I really found myself like cheering for certain teams and certain players. I'll look up the stats and see exactly what was going on, and I'll tell you guys in a second. But it was really interesting. It was really fun to watch. The shoutcasters are really, really good at their really good. They know a lot of stuff that's going on, and then the fans, like, they filled an entire stadium.
Yeah.
For this, and it was really cool. It was really impressive. Like I said, Team Liquid lost in the finals 2-0 to, I think it was oh man, what was it?
It wasn't Fnatic, was it?
No, it was
Luminosity.
It has like 2 letters in their name.
Oh.
I'll look it up. We'll find out. But it was really good. It was really fun to watch, and I think CS:GO is actually really interesting. Once I get like my computer set up and everything like that, I'll probably get into CS:GO a little bit, just because it was really interesting to watch. The tactics are fascinating. So
Yeah. And it really, the pace changes in that game. People say that Halo can go from very
Oh my
fast-paced to
gosh,
very
yeah.
slow-paced, but it really has nothing on how the dynamic of CS:GO and how fast it can go from one person just going off to everyone just crawling.
Yeah, and that was something that interested me, because they start out 5v5, and the second one of the other people went down, it was like a bomb. Like, it was just a rush, and they knew exactly where each other were at and where the strategy was, and it was just really really cool to watch. So I'm still looking for the rest of the information so you guys can talk.
Okay. So
and I'll bring it out for you guys.
Awesome. So, like I said, as CS:GO continues, we'll keep mentioning that. I'm going to try to do a better job keeping up with that, but there's just a lot to watch, especially when I'm far more, at this point, I'm far more interested with the HCS, Halo Championship Series, and the Pro League, which I'm going to read off some stats. After 6 weeks of competing, Counterlogic Gaming, CLG, record 11-1. Enigma 6, which kind of has been a little bit of an underdog, kind of a dark horse team. Just really wasn't sure if they were going to bring it together, but they have steamrolled a couple of teams. They gave CLG their one and only loss which is funny because they're all a bunch of, I guess they're kids. They're 16 years old, most of them. I think 2 or 3 of them are 16, 17 years old, which, for whatever reason, it seems like raw talent-wise for Halo, a lot of people are young, but they're not as disciplined, and they're not as team-oriented. So there really is a lot of, if they can get that aspect down, they'll be dominant, but they're young. But this team formed after a couple teams split after the World Championship, so they weren't expected to do very well, but they are 9-3, which is second place, and it's just been incredible to watch them. Team Envious, which I am a fan of them, fan of Pistola on that team. If you don't know who that is, go look him up. Phenomenal accuracy player, and that's kind of what my claim to fame in Halo is as well. I may not be the highest slayer or the best teammate, but my accuracy is normally very high, and so that's why I'm a fan of Pistola. They're number 3 at 8-4. Renegades 7-5. Coming in 5th place, Evil Geniuses 5-7, and they, for a long time, they kind of had a dynasty. Evil Geniuses did, and they haven't switched up their roster that much. So this was a surprise that they're 5th place. At 5-7, it wasn't expected because everyone thought that they should have been, number 2 or number 3 at the lowest, and they just, people have been on vacation, took vacations, didn't get a lot of practice in. A couple of them, 3 of them, moved into their Evil Geniuses Xfinity house. They have a house where they live. A couple of them live together and play together, practice together full time. So the process of moving into that house lost a lot of practice time. So I understand it, but I just feel like a team that had a dynasty going shouldn't have slipped that fast, but who knows? I don't know.
Life happens, man.
Yeah, and you're right, it does. And it's unfortunate for them. I know they've really been putting the axe to the grind, trying to recover from all that time. And I think it has paid off. They won a couple of clutch games, but they also lost a couple games they should have won. So, we'll see where we go from here. Team Allegiance, who they made a real good push at X Games and Worlds. They are at 6th place at 5-7. Optic Gaming, the Green Wall. They are most highly known for their CSGO teams. They should be better than they are. On paper, they are better than 2-10 and 7th place. But with 1 week remaining, week 7 is the last week, they are guaranteed to go to relegation, which means they have to play one of the top 2 teams from the open circuit, which will either be Elevate or Denial Esports, which both of those teams they're pretty good teams. So if they lose, if Optic Gaming loses to either of those, whoever they pick, they are out of the Pro League, and they had dropped to the open circuit. But 8th place, Team Liquid, which really is surprising to me because there's 2 players, one in particular, Spartan the Dog, that is on Team Liquid. He's a really, really good Halo player. I don't know if it's just the teamwork breaking down. Maybe it's team attitudes not working, meshing well together. But they went 1-11, and with only Thursday and Friday left, there's no way that they can statistically and mathematically get above where they're at now. So they will also go in relegation, and they will have to play the team that Optic Gaming doesn't choose in the relegation to potentially be kicked out of the Pro League. On the HCS Listen In podcast, there was a couple people interviewed from Optic and Team Liquid, and they both sounded, of course, really positive that they would not lose in relegation. But as we see, a couple of these teams that were thought to have a cakewalk in the top 4 got eliminated. So, we'll see. It's a game. It really is something my dad told me a long time ago with sports, is any given team can beat any other given team on any given weekend, specifically football.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday, any team can beat any other team. There is no handout wins unless you're playing the Lions.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I am a Lions fan.
That's
But We Lions lose a lot, but anyways, yeah. So I'm excited to see, because I would love one of these teams in an open circuit to get into the pro league, because that would just, I think if that happens, it'll make the open circuit and pro league even bigger. More people will follow it if they're like, you know what, these guys are an open circuit. They're just normal dudes, playing. They're not pro league. They're not making these millions of dollars winning. They're just dudes practicing in their free time, and they won. They got into this pro league, and now they're in the runnings to win a world championship. That's crazy. I think that'll bring a lot more open circuit competitors, which will help out HCS in the long run.
Yep.
So I need. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
No, I found who was playing in the final four.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So Friday was the final. The final four, and then third place. But I didn't watch third place. I watched the final four. Virtus Pro and SK Gaming were one group, and out of that group, SK Gaming won 2-1, and that was a really good series. Like Virtus Pro tied them on an overtime, and it was really nice. It was really cool to see that happen. And then the next game that was played was Team Liquid versus Fnatic, and
Fnatic, yeah.
Liquid won 2-0. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Liquid might just come into the final and just have it easy. But no, SK Gaming wiped them. It was They won the first game 16-7, and then they won the next game 16-6.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even really. It was never close.
That's
CS:GO for you.
And that's beating them. That's
it's not even
That's exerting your will pretty handily.
Yep.
So
2-0. So they're the champions right now. They won in Cologne.
Yeah.
They won $500,000, I think.
Nice.
Just money.
All right. Well, so before we go, I do want to show you guys. This is week 5 highlights, because the top highlight, this kid goes off, and he is a young kid from Enigma 6. So I'm gonna switch over and we get this ready. We're gonna play it. And then we'll do a shout out and get out of here. So I'm excited about this though, because it's epic. Oh, all right. I don't know who's playing that.
That was an ad.
All right, here we go. Turn this volume up though.
But CLG starting their push and their descent into the base of Envy, but that push is going to be denied. Look at this. He had Pistola run right by Rami, who had cam on. Look at this. Rami with a phenomenal play, just sneaking around, waiting for the right opportunity. Double kill on Pistola. That's going to be 2 down for Envy. He spots Rain top middle. Players on Envy spawning over by the Vat. A great grenade from him.
Lethal with a thrust, movement, just perfect shot.
It's probably the skin. I think the skin's making this shot.
Wow.
Yes. To answer the question after watching.
No, he doesn't kill.
So why wasn't there an animation that time? Like one of the assassinations?
He's going for the long way. Oh,
in competitive play, you turn them off.
Okay, that's what I
because
thought.
it wastes time and you can get shot out.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to ask.
Great decision.
Snipe drone. This is the snipe drone of old. I'm not sure he's aware of the player that's actually at S1 right now. No, he's not. This could be the opportunity. No! God, but no! But 20! He will get his face taken off. His twin brother comes to save the day, but...
5-kill lead this whole time. This is game 5. It
49 to 43.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That would have made me so mad.
But they will go down. You've got Shooter over there just battling 2 players, and you got Hook helping him out right there.
Into the hands of Kratos, though. The other one looks like no one's been able to grab yet.
Hook out of the blue base, but he's just staying alive. He's got the protection of everyone on his team, and I don't know if Shooter's Hook just constantly picking up headshots and
like
taking people out with a sniper rifle.
So
look at this angle. If he hits this, oh my gosh.
We had the Rocket players kill each other.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Picked up the new ones. Enigma 6 had the old ones, and wow. Of course, Hook grabbing this new sniper rifle here. They know they've got an advantage, got a little bit of a cushion here, and of course, Hook picks up right where he left off as well.
Hook has been
this
at
kid
blue
Hook
base
is just
almost
ridiculous.
The entire game. I'd say 70% of the game He's been at blue base with the
He's
sniper.
really good.
Rips off Lunchbox's face. No, they don't even see each other, but Hugh spots him. He's going to be able to finish this kill right here.
It looked like it hit him on
Plasma
that second
grenade.
shot.
Hugh just trying to stay alive. Goes, oh my, are you kidding? Oh, dude,
How many sniper
dude.
kills did he have
A
this
little
game?
throwback
Oh,
to that
it
video of the week
it
we
counts
saw
him in the
just a
left
moment
corner.
ago. From Wood and preschool
Oh my
slays
gosh.
into end it all. Hugh with another headshot.
It's
on
in one
Spectre,
game.
Just putting on a show for all of us. Just put your feet up, get out the popcorn because Hugh's putting on a show for us all.
Yeah. So crazy impressive, these highlight reels, and that's the kind of stuff I want to be able to do that. I'm not the snapshot ace like these guys are with a sniper rifle. They're turning and just like you said, ripping people's faces off. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that in Destiny, Wink.
Oh yeah.
That kind of just precision, accuracy, and speed. Probably a little bit of luck in there too, but it's just impressive. I wanted to share that with you guys because it was just really impressive to watch that highlight reel.
Yeah, I run into guys that are in the top, 1%, 5% of kills and wins in trials. Seems like every freaking weekend, and all those guys, there's no room for error because they not only are they fast, they're always every time they shoot, it's a headshot. So
Yeah.
it's like it's impossible to beat some of these guys, and especially since last week was a bigger map and everyone uses snipers in it. But yeah, it's just the people like that are so like you get mad at first, and then after a few times you're like, okay, this isn't. It's like it's a helpless feeling. So you just like, okay,
Yeah.
that's impressive. I hate you.
Yeah.
I wish I was. I wish I was as good as you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will keep. Like I said, there's one more week in the HCS Pro League before they go to relegation, and then there's going to be some type of playoff. I think it's the top 4 teams, if I remember correctly, going to a playoff, and then from there, I think the top 4 teams go to the Worlds to face the top 2 from the European League. So we'll keep you updated on that. I may have just butched all that, but I'll get more accurate information next time because I'm kind of just talking at this point. So you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? No,
No, I think
all
good.
set. All right, awesome. Well, for Andrew Winkleman and Zach Goins, I am Brett Bates, and this has been Bit War Podcast. Have a good week.
Take it easy.
Deuces.